Well, I decided to go live a little bit early because I can, because I need to get started on this. And I got back from lunch a little early, so real quick, we'll start with this one with regard to putting strings on a open or a split shaft headstock. You always want to poke the string down into the hole in the middle of the shaft here. There's a hole down right in the center of this. If I take a let me take an old string and I'll just show you what happens here. I'll use a big old E string so you can see it a little better. If I push this down in the middle of this, you'll notice that the string goes quite a ways down in there. That's a lot more than the depth of that slice. So this is how your string goes in there. So it goes in, then you bend the string and wrap it around the machine head. And we'll get to putting strings on this before too much longer, but I thought I would share that with y'all real quick, because this one, you put the strings in, you can kind of see, I'll show you on this B string, it was just kind of bent around. It didn't actually go down into the slot, into the hole in the middle of the slot. It's important to do that for tuning stability. I don't really honestly believe that it matters a whole lot, given the fact that you get 2 or 3 winds on here, you almost don't need to have it push through any hole at all. It'll stay put just due to friction. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I thought I'd share that with you on a split shaft, which is what I call them, headstock, or I'm sorry, machine head. I've got to do a little bit of housekeeping here. We had to throw away a guitar stand today. I don't like doing that, but I also don't like the horseshoe style guitar stands, but they're affordable, so we use them here at the shop. But not a big fan of those things. You'll never see my guitar sitting in one of those. It'll be hanging on a wall, or it will be in a Hercules brand guitar stand. That is the only thing I will let my guitars be in. And if I don't have that available, it will sit either on the floor or in the case. All right, those horseshoe stands are the reason I can't even tell you how many guitars I've had to fix due to those horseshoe stands. And when I've had to fix them, unfortunately, I've had to ship them, and they got broke by UPS, and UPS denied my claim after they broke my guitar that I sent and fixed. So I've had to eat that repair. So I do not recommend shipping guitars. Now, here's another thing that I despise about Fender, is that these things, you can't get the strings out. So in order to do a string change on this, you have to take this off. They just poke these little holes in here. Again, it's just it's a cheap way to do things. All they got to do is make these holes a little bit bigger. I mean, come on, Fender. This is a U.S. made Fender Stratocaster, by the way. So, and I never put the back cover plates on mine, but this is not my guitar. Oh, and that reminds me, I got to put a back cover plate on another Stratocaster. I should probably do that today before I get too far into this one. So unfortunately, you have to do all of this extra work for ultimately nothing on a Fender Strat that has that little teeny hole cut in the cavity cover. And the other thing is that the cavity covers are extremely uncomfortable. If you're a thin person, which there aren't many of us left, but if you are a thin person, that thing will dig into your hip or your stomach or something, and not very comfortable. Okay, so let's see. I've gotten this thing taken care of. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the other Strat real quick and put the back cover plate on it before I get any further with this one. Okay. Now, again, any guitar that I own, here's the one that I did a live stream of last night, really beautiful guitar. I never ever put a back cover plate on these, and just because if you have to adjust something, and it's uncomfortable again because this thing sticks up off of the back of the guitar enough that these edges will dig into your hips. I know. Us little healthy people are annoying, right? If you got some padding, it might not be so bad, you know. I don't have that, and I'm proud of that. I got plenty where this where it came from. Okay, let's see how well this new cover plate fits. I need to magnetize my screwdriver, so I'm going to do that real quick. I think. Where's my magnetizer? Where is my magnetizer? Huh, that's interesting. My magnetizer is missing from my stuff here. There. No, it's not. I didn't put it away last time I used it. You should have one of these if you work on guitars. This little device right here is pretty awesome. And now my screws will stick to my screwdriver. And this is astonishing. This might be the first. Now the holes don't line up exactly, but I think it's close enough. This is like one of the first replacement plates that I've ever put on where I didn't have to re-drill the holes because they're not drilled in the right place. They did a good job on this one. Astonishing. This is a rare occasion on my bench when I can just swap out a cover plate or a pick guard and have the screws actually line up. Now they aren't perfect, but they're awful close. And this one turns out the hole is put right where the holes that when the strings need to be changed, the young lady who owns this guitar will be able to change them very easily because you can pull them out through the block of the plate. You can see that they did a good job on this one. Fender can't even get that right. It's interesting how often that doesn't line up. So there you go. There it is, all done. Beautiful. And one thing I also want to do before I put this away, I'm going to use some new cleaning towels. These are the towels that I use. Get them at the dollar store, the $1.25 store. I went and bought more of these today because I had used them all up on a Gibson 335 that had some really nasty stuff on it. So I'm just wiping my fingerprints off of this guitar real quick. Boy, that looks nice. What a beautiful guitar. This thing is a nice one. I thought the young lady that owns this was going to come in and pick it up today, but it's going to be Monday. Her job ended up having something else going on like that, I think. So there we go. I'm going to check the back real quick. Got a little ding right there, no big deal. Got that out of the way is what I always say. If you buy a new guitar, just take it home and put a ding in it. Get that out of the way. Because a guitar without a ding in it is a guitar that's not being played. That is the truth. That is the honest truth. Alright, I know my camera's not showing everything I'm doing on this thing, but now I've got that done. I don't like that. Hang on, I'll be right back. Man, the latches on this guitar case are kind of wonky. So I don't like giving a guitar back to a customer when I've left fingerprints all over it. That's not cool. Alright, so here we go with this beautiful Strat. Mr. Bassman, hello. Welcome to the channel, man. This is sometimes my streams can get a little long. I don't know if we've met before, but my name is Marshall, and I am a guitar tech, and I've built guitars and do all that stuff. If you're familiar with my channel, welcome back, or welcome. So I'm going to do some cleanup on this one. This is, you know, give me a moment. I want to look this guitar up. I don't know how old this one is. I believe that I've had the neck off of it before, but I am not going to, pull the neck off of it. Let me see. I just need to, I want to do this real quick, just to see. I found a really great site. Let's see. I'll post a link to it. Don't use the Fender website to find dates of Fender guitars. It's an absolute waste of time. And the fact that they, there's serial number. Okay. I think it's, nope. No, doggone it. Where's a? No, this isn't the one. Give me a second here. Forgive me. I'll get busy on this guitar in just a moment. Where was? Maybe I could look at it. It might be the. Is this the one? Is this the site? No, it's not the site, man. There was a website. You guys would probably know it better than I. If you've ever dated. Support at Fender.com. No. Oh well. I'll go to Fender.com and see if they will tell me, because usually what you get at Fender.com is this is not a legitimate serial number. They do that on about half of or more of the guitars that are that I do this on. So here's the serial number for this. So I'm going to type this in. And I'm going to use exact letters, so capital E, which means made in America. Then I'm going to use a space. Now, I don't know if that's correct, but I'm trying to do 215073. And I know I'm not a robot. And let's search. Enter a valid serial number. See, I just typed this serial number in exactly as it is. So let's refresh this page. Again, Fender's website is an absolute, this is a joke. But I'm going to leave the space out. The fact that it won't do that, no, I'm not a robot. I have to tell it now search. Oh, and look at that. It's going to tell me no results. I'll bet some of you, here's a look at the serial number right here. In fact, I'm going to post the serial number in the chat, and if you're watching the stream, maybe let me know what the actual. Oh, cool, man! I appreciate you being here. Okay, well, I'm gonna post a serial number. Whoops, E 215073. 215073. Okay, let me post that. There's the serial number, and I'm going to pin this to the top of the... Okay, so if you have time, because I got to get to work on this thing. I've spent way too much time trying to find the actual year manufacturer. I can pull the neck off it. I'm not going to do that again. I've already done that before, and I don't remember what year this is. It'd be cool to know what year this guitar is. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean this thing up a little bit. I'm half tempted to pull this bridge off of here. In fact, I am going to do that for Charlie today. The gentleman that owns this guitar, his name is Charlie, and he is a absolute one of the kindest people I've ever met. He's taken guitar lessons from me. He loves live music. Don't use a power tool on a guitar, please. Don't ever use power tools on guitars. Really bad idea. Boy, they didn't mess around with these screws on here. The screws in these American-made Strats are, I think, twice as long as the one. No, they're not. They're pretty long though. I think they're longer than the ones that they make in Mexico. So again, I'm just taking this off of here so I can clean it in my jewelry cleaner to knock all the guck out of it. And I'm going to clean off the screws and all that stuff. So we'll get all this stuff nice and clean and tidy today. Now he did. Now I did notice that he does have the whammy bar blocked so that he can't pull back on it. I like to float mine, but I know that this client wants it locked. He doesn't use a whammy bar much, which I don't know if I agree with that policy, but that's fine. I mean, to each their own. Good grief. Okay. Okay. You got to be careful doing this too, because you can, if you're pulling on one of these springs, you can scratch the finish on a guitar like this really easily doing that. So just be real cautious. Take my word for it. Ask me how I know all of those famous cliches. Let's see what's going on down here. Yeah, there's some pitting in the metal, I think. There's a number 3, it looks like, drawn on there. Oh boy, interesting how this is built. The spring on this one, I think that this saddle has moved. I think that it's actually supposed to be way back there for the intonation. So I'm going to make a preemptive strike on this and tighten this up. Now I will put a drop of oil on all of these, and we're going to re-intonate the guitar anyway, because we're switching it from 9-gauge strings that were on it to 8-gauge. So let me get my I'm talking too much. I'll shut up now. Get busy. My jewelry cleaner out. I need to go get some water in this. I'm putting a little bit of simple green and just some water, and we'll drop this whole clunky thing in there and let it soak for a bit. There we go. This is one of the best guitar cleaners in the world. My knees hurt. Fender says the database does not have all numbers available. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? I mean, why not? I guess that's probably a fair question for me to ask, because if you asked me what guitars I worked on yesterday, I probably couldn't tell you. So, yeah, if you have any way of finding out the serial numbers up there, and there was a site that was really good. I can't find it. I could look at my let me look at my history. Let's see. Recent tabs. How do I see my whole history? Let's see. Control Shift T. Oh, that's my YouTube channel. Let me go to Google. Maybe I can see my history. History. There we go. Okay, where is it? The Guitar Dater Project. Here, I'm going to copy this. That was easy. Let's go to whole history. I love that, man. This link right here is a really good one for finding dates of guitars, or Fender guitars. Why is that all blurred out? Come on. Well, that's interesting. Let me, this is weird. Forgive me for the, paste. Okay. Forgive me for the delay here. Okay, there we go. It was all blurred out. Interesting. Submit. Let's see. E2015. What is that right? Oh, 215073. 215073. Serial number unrecognized. Verifies that the serial number is correct and that you selected a country man. Oh, maybe I did not. You choose. Let's try American made. If I typed American made, there it is. Your guitar was made at the Fullerton plant, Fender CBS, USA, 1982, 1983. So this is an 82 or an 83 Fender Strat. It took me that long to figure that out. Okay, I gotta go put some water in here and we'll get to cleaning. Give me a second. I should just have a, I know that I work on guitars all day long every day, and I should just have that website. I push one button. I could set up the, you know, one button that I don't ever use. Like, I don't know, F3 or something, and make it go to that website regardless. Okay, so I'm, and forgive me for not, here's my jewelry cleaner. I'm gonna go plug it in over there next to that amp that we're working on and get it running. We'll get this thing nice and clean today. It's gonna look beautiful. Woohoo. Okay. So I called my friend Charlie that owns this guitar and asked him about the pick scratches. He bought this guitar brand new in 1983. I have to assume it was 1983, likely. And I asked him if he minded if I polished all those scratches out of this, and he said, "Nah, you don't have to, because there are guys." But I am going to go ahead and polish up, you know, some of the guck off here and see if I can clean this up a little bit. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we can clean this up a little bit and make it look a little more tidy. It's due for a spring cleaning. So, and I'm just using let's see, what is this, Dunlop 65. Now I have a bottle that's 6 gallons of Dunlop 65 that a very good friend of mine bought, and he didn't realize that he was buying the bulk version of it, and for him it would have been 6 lifetimes worth of polish, I think. And so we traded. He gave me that big one and I gave him one of the little ones, and now he's got a lifetime supply of it, and I can continue using the 6-gallon bottle of it for years to come, and I won't run out. I will run out at some point. I'll use enough of this stuff too. But look at that, it already, look at how much better this is looking, getting all this old guck off of here. My hope is that, you know, all of this debris and such, is that a, what's that? Oh, there's part of the chrome that's peeled off, the plating that's peeled off underneath here. We're going to leave that alone. I'm not going to remove that. It's probably filling a hole that really needs to be filled. So just going to kind of clean it up a little bit here. This thing has been played a lot. I know that my buddy Charlie, oh, and if you need a lawyer, get a hold of me. I know a guy that is one of the best attorneys in the state. Anyway, I know that Charlie plays this guitar a lot, and I built him an SG style guitar several years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And hey, Brent, what's happening? All right, let me grab your guitars for you.
Thanks, man.
There's this one. Now the deal with the I have to assume it happens a lot. You got 2 volume knobs on that, and with the pickup selector switch in the middle, if the treble or bridge pickup is turned all the way off, your neck pickup will not work. So I'm assuming I tested.
It works fine.
It is
good.
fine. You can.
You
just need to be careful if you're trying to get that middle dual pickup sound.
Yeah.
You've got to have the treble, the bridge, or the neck cracked open. You have to have both of them.
It's weird. He and I. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but you know, like for whatever reason, O'Toole and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So
I plugged it in and it worked perfectly, and I just
great.
assumed it was
I'm
probably
sure
an oversight.
Yeah.
Also, this thing had some, I think.
Yeah, you told me that. Where was it at?
Right where an arm would.
Right where an arm would go.
Right where the arm goes over, and it was nasty.
Okay.
Like I sat and polished it with the McGuire's.
Yeah.
They use it on Lamborghinis.
Okay.
And I was having a hard time getting that stuff off there. It's like, oh. Finally, I just kept looking at it. So I don't know what it was.
Well, thank you.
It wasn't like eating away the finish, but it
would have been if it had.
Yeah.
I'm glad I brought it in.
They're both exactly what you wanted.
Okay.
And,
thank you, sir.
I did
appreciate it.
I did have to on that one when I took the saddle off of it. The little adjustment dial moved a little bit. So I set it up exactly where Gibson would set that up at the factory, and I think I've worked on this one before.
You haven't worked on this one before. You've worked on this one before.
So it's where it was the day you bought it.
Okay, perfect.
So if you like the action, it should be good.
Well, I'll give you some feedback. I'm gonna enjoy them tonight. Thanks so much.
Shoot me a text. Thanks, Brent. All right, had a couple guitars go home. That's cool. All right, so. Let me get back to here. Let's say hi to everybody. Maneezer, Mr. Bassman, Camellia, fulton Fender, CBS, yep, 82, 83. I found USA made, absolutely. Yep, it was US. Yeah, sorry, brother. I didn't share enough information. Okay. So we're going to keep cleaning. You can see all the guck that's coming off this thing with just a little bit of this guitar polish. So I'm going to go over this whole guitar and clean it really, really well. It probably hasn't had a good spring cleaning for a long time. I can tell that the finish has got like guck on it. And you know, if you own a guitar and you have a fireplace at your home, that smoke can build up, the tar from the smoke can build up on the finish of your guitars, and it will almost act not almost, it will act like a guitar that is in a smoker's, somebody who smokes cigarettes. It can do the same thing to those. To the finish as something like a cigarette can. So I don't think this owner of this guitar has, and I know that he is not a smoker. He would no sooner smoke a cigarette than put a bullet in his head, right? He's a really good dude, really healthy. He's up skiing and stuff. I wish I could introduce you all to this guy. He is just a sweetheart. Really also, again, I want to he's a very well respected attorney, and the gentleman who just picked up his guitars is also an attorney. So I've had 3 attorneys' guitars in my shop over the last 4 or 5 days, which is really interesting. I think I mentioned that. And so I don't know if if I'm being set up, if something bad's going to happen, I'm going to need a lawyer, but I don't think I've ever had 3 guitars in my shop, all of them I actually had 4, all of them owned by attorneys, which is really cool. I'm lucky the people that I get to work for are so professional. Yeah, there's a lot of guck on this thing. Let's see, you can see kind of how I'm just going to go ahead and spray some of this on here. It needs some, what's that? I'm hoping that you can see how much cleaner this guitar is now that I'm doing it. And I can feel the, whatever the stuff is that's on the finish, I can feel it when I'm wiping over it. It's kind of sticky. But it's coming off, so it's definitely not nicotine stains. That requires oven cleaner and lighter fluid. Believe it or not. Can't find a serial number on your Dobro. Sometimes on a Dobro, depending on the manufacturer, you have to pull the plate off of it. Sometimes it's a sticker that's actually down inside. They put it on in the instrument. I don't know if you've been able to look there. But You could try finding it there. Another thing that is done, depending on the neck, if it's a bolt-on neck like this one, you can pull the neck off of the instrument and oftentimes the date. And this one probably has the date written on the end of the neck on the inside here. So that's my 2 cents. They hide those things in some really amazing places. Now, I'm going to bust out some semi-chrome, and I'm going to go over the center portion of this guitar where the discoloration, there's some dark discoloration here. And, look at that, comes right off of here. That's great. Knock that stuff right off of here. He's not even going to recognize his guitar when he gets back.
Well,
it's the season for Strats.
Well, they're a classic. I mean, if you get a good Strat, it's hard to go, you know.
Oh man. And this is like that 70s or late 60s, early 70s style tuners. It's the old F tuners.
Yeah.
It's got the F on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what the Clusians with the F.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is an 82.
It's
it's
a reissue, basically, with that old, like early 70s style.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're not.
And I have a set of those off of a 70.
Yeah.
A 70, yeah.
Well, they look cool. I'm not sure.
I think we're pretty good as
look
far
nice.
as block
Yeah, I'll just go through it one more time, and I'm just going to move those guitars, and I think we'll be good.
Did he give us some stuff that we had to take care of?
No, he is not here
He
yet.
hasn't
He's coming
been
at
here.
4.
Okay. If you need some help, Stu, you just holler. We have a fire inspector coming in today. The fire inspector who's going to come in and inspect our building is a former student of mine. Yeah, you're welcome, Camellia. It's amazing where they will hide serial numbers, and yeah, again, it depends on the manufacturer. Okay, so we're going to polish the frets while we're at it. God, this thing looks so much nicer already.
Yep, it's pretty.
I know that the gentleman who owns this guitar takes very good care of his instruments. But he's not afraid to let them get dirty either, because he knows that a dirty instrument is an instrument that gets played, right? Or that's getting played. And you can be really, with keeping your guitar really clean, you can be really controlling about that. I'll use that word instead of the A word. You can wipe down your guitar when you're done playing with a rag, and it won't become so, get so nasty. But you can't really wipe underneath the strings, right? I mean, that's not very practical. You can if you get stingy about it, but I do recommend, though, especially if you sweat, if you want to keep your guitar in really good shape and keep the metal from pitting out and all that stuff, it is a good idea to wipe the strings down, if nothing else, with a dry rag. Just one of these. You can get 2 of these at the dollar store, $1.25 store, for $1.25, literally. And I had to go buy some more today, because I had to use the last of them up on that 335 that just went home today. I'm really happy about that. I know he's gonna love that guitar. It's always fun. Boy, this thing has some pretty good fret wear, Charlie. We're gonna, boy, I want to show you the fret wear that's on this guitar. I need to consider doing a fret level and crown on this. I'm not going to do it this time. Hey, Stu.
Yes, sir.
I need your opinion.
Yes, sir.
Feel those. Tell me if I should.
Well, they're getting there, but they're not just that one little funk right there. I'm still the clunk right on that B string one. Pretty chunky right there.
Yeah.
Just on the cusp. I think a person probably wouldn't even notice it, but you know, if
maybe wait till next time.
Yeah, I think I'd wait till next time. It's not doing that thing where it's really catching.
Yeah.
I think string will just bounce in and out of that, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. We'll wait. We'll wait. I'm so lucky to have that guy here that I can ask his opinion of stuff. There are very few people in the world who have worked on as many guitars as he has, and I am not kidding. So he's seen it all and worked for some of the pickiest guitar players you can imagine, and I love to ask his opinion of stuff. I mean, I was really on the edge about doing a fret level and crown, and I'll show you up here. This is what we were talking about. Now, you know, usually like these little marks in the E and A string, I can run my fingernail across those and I can't even feel them. So these divots look a million times worse than they actually are. It's kind of an illusion almost, but this is very close to needing to do a fret level and crown. Oops, sorry, I gotta be careful about Sheryl Crow. Now I'm gonna clean the neck and then we'll move on to getting the whammy bar put back on it. It's been over there boiling for a few minutes. This is kind of a normal everyday live stream that I do. This is kind of how they go. It's not terribly fast moving, right? It might be if you consider how fast you can set up and clean up your guitar. But these streams are kind of, they're a little drawn out. All right. Fingerboard all nice and clean for my friend. This is going to look beautiful. Now remember, if you use simple green on your guitar neck to clean it like I am, do not forget to clean all of the drips and stuff off of the back of the neck. Don't forget that. This stuff is a great cleaner and there's a reason for it. And it can discolor the finish, especially on a maple neck, if you leave those drips on there. And I'm using my hand up here to keep the splats from going on the headstock so I don't have to clean that up. And it's looking really good. There we go. This thing wasn't too terribly bad, but I know that each time he brings a guitar in to me, I do this exact same process. I don't always treat his rosewood fingerboards with linseed oil because overdoing it is as bad as underdoing it, really. With treating the fingerboard with oil, you can definitely overdo it. And there is, I believe there's a tool that you can use to get in here. If I have to adjust the truss rod, I will take the neck off of the guitar. I don't know how you would get at that. I don't even know why they do that. Seems like I don't know. I don't know why they do it. Now I'm being very careful to get all of the little drips and such off of the body of the guitar, and then we'll start getting the whammy bar put back on it and get to stringing it up here shortly. And I will do another demonstration of how to put strings, again, to put strings on a split shaft machine head today. That's always something that's useful. A lot of people just run the string through the slot in the headstock, and that is not necessarily correct. That's not what Leo Fender expected you to do with them. Okay. Let's see. I do want to plug this in real quick. And I realize there's no strings on it. Is this a 3? No, it's a 5-position switch. I'm going to plug it in, turn the amp on. Now, I'm turning the amp up pretty loud because I want to see Do we have any noise on the volume pots? So the volume is dying. I think we're all good. Okay, let's turn that down. Let's go get the whammy bar and put it back on here.
Oh yeah, that'll be great. I know.
Woo. Hot. Holy smokes.
No, I'm good. I got everything I need.
Okay.
I got time.
Oh boy. This thing gets hot. I'll tell you what. Oh, there's some guck that came off of that thing.
Well, thank you.
Ooh, hot.
Oh, okay, Chris. Soft soap and all that stuff. That was great. Yeah.
I should have held this up to the camera before I did that, so you could get a before and after. But that's what it looks like now.
No, I still got that big.
Isn't that nice?
That's a really concentrated thing. It is.
Isn't that beautiful?
It really takes it off.
Yeah, and I just used simple green and some water, and that's it. Now, something I did. Oh gosh, sorry about that. If you got seasick, something I do is get a rag, get all these little parts and pieces out of my way. I got way too much stuff out here on my bench, so I take a nice rag, put it down there, and knock all the water out of it.
That's what I try to do. Quick and easy that way.
Alright. I'm going to let this sit out for a few minutes. Look at how shiny that is now. Isn't that nice? Now, this is not something that every guitar tech has the time or will put the effort into doing for a client to clean a whammy bar like that, but I do. I make time for it. Alright, okay, so let's let that sit there for just a few minutes, kind of air dry a little bit. And we're going to check the hardware on this thing. Make sure all the screws are nice and solid.
Yeah, and he does it enthusiastically too.
Yeah.
He doesn't bitch about the whole time.
Just checking the hardware on the machine heads. Getting to be about that time.
Oh, we got another 15 minutes, I think.
Look at that.
That's a lot prettier now. You can actually see the chrome.
Yeah.
Gotta like
Alright.
that.
Yeah. Looks nice. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is put this back in here, and remember to never use power tools on a guitar. It's a very bad idea. You'll probably scratch something or strip a screw out. So I just, fair warning, don't use power tools on your musical instruments. Okay? Remember I said that.
I should be back. It's not already. We probably already know that. Yeah. I appreciate it. And if Don comes down, I guess.
Okay.
He's like really close to
Now this bridge being pinned down, I do the same thing on these as I do. The moment I see any movement, that's too tight, so I loosen it just to the point of where this would start the bridge to tilt. And I actually
All right.
go a little bit beyond where it starts, so I've got some room underneath these screws.
You're better off there.
I do too. The problem is right there, they're blocking the main, you know.
There we go. Now, we're going to go to the back side of this thing, and we're going to see if I can't get these screws on here.
Wow. Is that what he said?
Now, this is the part where you got to be careful. Now, I can kind of see where I'm at, so before I do this, I'm not going to do that just yet. We're going to loosen these screws up. And I'm looking at how much distance I have there, and I'm going to put them right back, because if he does use his whammy bar, adjusting although I am changing string gauges, but adjusting these will adjust the tension.
I don't know about, should we move these TVs?
On the, it'll adjust the tension that is required to push down on the whammy bar, and we want it to feel like it always does.
Move them, and I'll find a spot for them. We got lots of path over there, so I'll put one there and probably one here.
Oh, you're fine. All right.
Yeah, I got her.
Okay. And, there's all that. Now I'm going to tighten this back down close to where it was. Yeah, because if you loosen the tension on these, then when you push down on the whammy bar, if he ever does use it, it will feel different. We don't, even though he can't pull back on it, it's not floating. We don't want to change the feel of the bar for him. Okay, so yeah, we look all good. Okay, now here we go. I am going to use. Where are you? Here, little jug of gold. Jug of gold. There you are. Now, here we go. Big Ben's nut sauce. Yep. Put a tiny little speck of this on these screws. There we go. Just want to make sure to get a little lube on those, just to make sure that the next guy that has to work on this doesn't have to struggle to turn those screws, and also to try and help prevent rust from developing on these screws. It's amazing. I made that little adjustment right there, and I can already feel that these screws are turning much easier. Pretty cool. Yeah, all it takes is one little tiny speck of that lube to get in there, and the screws work a whole lot better. And I'm trying to adjust these screws right back to where they started. I'm pretty close. Astonishing what a little drop of that stuff will do. Okay, that screw is being a little bit finicky. Okay, so that's too big. can't find my my other screwdriver, so we're going to call that good. I don't want to strip these screws out, but we are going to loosen this up a little bit, and I'm going to get a little bit more grease on there. Now we're going to tighten this up, see how well. Yeah, and already I'm able to tighten that up as far as it'll go now. So just a little bit of lube, never hurt anybody. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now again, I think this saddle was way too far forward. They move. Stuff like this can move on your guitar just from playing. And it's something that you got to keep an eye on. Okay, we're ready to put some strings on this thing now. Let's do that. What do you say? Ready to hear this thing? Okay. Appreciate y'all being with me today. It's a beautiful Friday here in beautiful Northeast Oregon. Now I bought him a 3-pack of these Ernie Ball 8-gauge strings, which this is the first Strat that I put 8 gauges on in a long time, 8-gauge strings. But he wants to go with 8s, so we will do that. Now that does mean a full intonation setup and all of that, which is fine. Okay, so if you change string gauges, you definitely have to, I don't care if you go from 10s to 9s, 9s to 10s, whatever. 9s to 9.5, you should definitely check the intonation on your instrument, because it will not be the same. And the slightest little bit of intonation problem, what's that? Can be, okay. What are you up to?
Caden's shopping for guitars. Are you on the phone?
No, I'm doing a live stream right now,
Oh, man,
but dude,
okay.
I'm at your disposal. What's
Did
going
you
on?
pause it?
Absolutely. Let me, I'm just going to turn the sound off.